Sup flappers, welcome back to another video. Now the first question you might be asking, Walrus, why are you filming this video in a cave down in Kanomiya? There's ton of beautiful scenery up above the surface. Why this place? And you know, I don't really have a good answer for you apart from the fact that I'm literally hiding from all the Ayato leaks that are bombarding people and their feeds all over the place. And yes, I am talking about Ayato because this video is talking about patch 2.6. A lot of people say like, well, Walrus, isn't it a bit too early to talk about patch 2.6? We haven't even gotten Raiden and Kokomi yet. But take a pause for both you and I. I think people, for the most part, have completely lost it since last week. Ayato leaks have essentially sent people into a frenzy. I cannot go by a single day without people DMing me saying, Walrus, have you seen how crazy Ayato is? He's like going to change the entire landscape of everything that ever has been and ever was, like the second coming of Christ, and he's going to save all our problems. He's going to make my account amazing. He's going to be a must pull. And do you guys realize the amount of expectations that at this point is mounting up for this character? And if you guys think that I'm scared because of that, right, a letdown, no. All right, here's the thing for patch 2.6. It feels just like a couple patches ago that we sailed into the harbors of Inazuma, and now we are quickly approaching the region Sumeru, which in of itself comes with Dendro. Right, I feel like not enough people are talking about this. A new element that will be interacting with all existing ones. Maybe, right? We might have an Anemo Geo situation where they form a trio that just don't interact with each other whatsoever. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I think that's miHoYo's easy way out of it. Like, yeah, they don't interact, right? Of course they could interact. It could add an entire new element to the game, but miHoYo just simply chose for Anemo and Geo not to interact. Now, this could also be something that they've just let sit for the meantime, and eventually they will develop it into something amazing. Who knows? But patch 2.6 is the start of many things. As you guys know, right now we are going through another slow period of Genshin Impact, and it's slow in the sense of there's nothing too exciting going on. Some new characters here and there that it's been anticipated, but nothing crazy, nothing revolutionary. And you can tell people are going online every day looking for fights, and they're doing real life PvP for Genshin, right? Looking to argue, looking to poke at mundane things, and that's all indicative of a slow period in Genshin's game state. Now, this will all change relatively soon. If you guys remember back in patch 1.6, the Golden Archipelago, if I'm correct, was 1.6, right? We're about to go into 2.6, and some people, the optimistic ones, may think, oh, maybe 2.7 is 3.0, but there is a chance, I'm not going to deny it, most likely it's going to be around 2.8 or maybe even 2.9, and we'll talk about that a little later, right? Let's just talk about the characters that will likely come in patch 2.6. First one being Ayato. That's one's really obvious. Followed by that, you're gonna have Kazuha, most likely, or you're gonna have Ayaka, right? And worst case scenario, you're gonna get both. And I do feel bad for the free-to-plays, right? And because Ayato is one of the more popular characters that people, I don't know what it is, and maybe it's because he's got that vibe about him, right? He got that aura about him, that presence that just makes people go crazy for him. But not only are people going to really want Ayato, Kazuha is one of those characters that everybody feels like they missed out on, because when Kazuha first came out, Venti was still going strong. So a lot of people who had Venti was like, you know, I'll just keep my Venti, don't need to overspend on two characters that does kind of the same thing. And then miHoYo completely took Venti out of the picture, you know, gutted his biggest advantage. The man's still playable, but come on, compared to his glory days, he's not as utilized anymore. And people over time felt extremely bad that they missed out on Kazuha because of all these showcases of content creators. You're like, oh, Kazuha like doubles my damage, aha, or something crazy along the lines of glorifying this character, which Kazuha deserves all the love and attention he is getting. But that takes us now to Ayaka, which is another potential unit that's gonna come back. And if miHoYo were sinister, they would put Ayaka along with Kazuha, along with Ayato. And thematically, it does make sense since she's the younger sister of Ayato, right? Now, not only that, people, not only that, we are getting a new area, an area that has been teased for so long. Speculations, right? Lore channels, people just been talking about this nonstop. And finally, the Chasm, right? We're getting into the Chasm, and this is big big news for us, because that means we're finally going to inch forward towards Sumeru. And forgive me for being a little concerned in that we might be picking up the pace here and the ball won't get dropped for another 2-3 patch starting in patch 2.6, whether you're ready or not, whether your resources are prepared or not. And I don't think many people are going to be ready for the absolute truckload of content we're about to get, especially if you started playing the game after patch 2.0. You don't know how quickly at the snap of a finger miHoYo can pick up the pace and throw you into scramble mode. And to top that off, we're getting double character banner reruns. It's not like in patch 1.0's they didn't have enough characters. They have an ample amount of characters that are highly in demand that they have to cycle through at a much faster pace now. If you aren't prepared, you're gonna drop the ball. There's gonna be a character that you really love, it's gonna hit you across the face and you're not gonna even see it coming. Or worse, multiple characters that you really want, or you're looking for constellations for, tough choices left and right. My biggest concern though out of all of this is the fact that yes, they teased Chasm, but nothing was mentioned about Dendro. And if we take Inazuma, for example, Kazuha was a resident of Inazuma, and he was introduced to us prior to the actual release of Inazuma. So is there going to be somebody that we run into that somehow can introduce us to Sumeru? And if that's the case, will we get Dendro before we get to Sumeru? I don't think so. Alright, so I'm going to answer that for you guys right now. I don't think so. I think Dendro and Sumeru are very much elements and content that are going in hand with each other. I don't think miHoYo is going to be releasing such a game-changing mechanic and interaction prior to the big reveal of the country of origin, essentially. Nation of origin, if you could say as well. So that's also on my mind as well. 2.6 is going to be the start. If you think of this as like an amusement park, right, like a roller coaster, I think right now we are currently on our way upwards to the peak of the drop. We're close to the top. Maybe give it another patch or two, maybe 2.7 is gonna be the top, and then we're just gonna go down the rail for an incredible ride in Sumeru. I can't wait for the region. Do note that there are characters that just have to make reruns at this point. I think they're very close to rerunning Venti. They're close with Yoimiya as well, right? Ayaka, Kazuha, these are all characters that are gonna have to make their reruns before Sumeru, because I think when Sumeru drops, there's going to be little time for us to really focus on a lot of these characters, and who knows how Dendro and the nation of Sumeru is going to impact or force us to play our games in a different way, because Inazuma was the region for Electro, right? You guys can see how they tied the element into the region itself. Sumeru, like I said before, I don't know how they want to approach this. Is everyone going to get a free 4-star character from Sumeru to just at the very least help them with exploration and dealing with puzzles and whatnot? So much of this stuff is still under wraps, and I know people are losing their mind over Ayato, but we gotta really start preparing ourselves and our accounts, slotting our times essentially. I think that Genshin's going to demand more than 30 minutes of your day over the next couple of patches, and it's both a good and bad thing, right? Please comment down below what is the most exciting thing that you are looking forward to, not just for 2.6, just for the foreseeable future. Let's keep Dainsleif out, maybe keep Scaramouche out as well, but just in recent patches, what is something that you guys are really excited for? And as I've shared with all this stuff with you, I'm gonna have to say the Dendro element. Honestly, the Dendro element is going to be something that I really look forward to, as I do have a bit of copium as well, hoping that it will rebalance the elements a little bit here and just make them all shine in their own unique way. Yes, very copium. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. Alright, so with that said, comment wooden stick if you've made it all the way to this video, so I know you guys are dedicated viewers. And until next time, urge you all to stay safe and peace. Bye.